What's good, everybody? It's your boy Wes, back at you with another video. And if you guys have been enjoying, all the content and everything that's been going on with the channel, don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. And with that being said, let's get right to it. Tonight we have the Chicago Sky going up against the Las Vegas Aces in their final game before the All-Star break and the Olympic break. I think this is going to be pretty good for pretty much all, parties involved pretty much throughout the league. Everyone's going to get that nice break, especially for the rookies. They get a chance to, improve their game a little bit, get some rest up, and all the teams get a chance to even build more chemistry over the break through practice and everything like that. So I expect not a total shift, but a shift of play and play style amongst the teams in the league going into the second part of the season. I think that's where we're gonna really see where teams stand going into the playoffs, and they're gonna not have their full true identity down, but I think they're pretty much all going to have a certain style of play that we can expect from them going forward as the season moves on. Now, with all that being said, for the matchup tonight, as always, this is going to be a difficult matchup for the Sky. We're going against the two-time defending champions in the Las Vegas Aces. Last time out, we went against them, and A'ja Wilson just went off on us. I think she had something like 20 points in the first quarter, or like 16 in the first quarter, 25 in the first half, but it was one of A'ja Wilson's best games. She was completely terrorizing our rookie front court with Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso, and it was huge game from her part, showing why she's the MVP of the league and showing why there absolutely is levels to the game. Do I think the Sky are capable of pulling off the upset? I mean, of course, on any given day. That's why we play these games. Any team can get off, an upset. And with the Sky's, recent slump, they're due for a pretty big good game. They've been going through it, with some pretty tough matchups, with the Sky and the New York Liberty. The Aces will be no different, but with a few days rest, I expect them to come out with a little bit different energy. And with it being the last game before the All-Star break, I expect them to go all out in trying to, take this dub off the defending champs. Now, with all that being said, I kind of want to really get into this past, beginning of the month for the Chicago Sky, because I've noticed some, discrepancies, throughout May and June and, the start to July. And it really was apparent to me the last game. It just felt pretty lopsided in a certain area. And for people that are watching, I'm going to just get, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of what I'm talking about. And that's, going to the line and the free throw attempts. Now, I already know that, people are going to come under the comments and getting ready, to type now as they're saying this, you shouldn't have to rely on a few free throws to win a game, blah, blah, blah. Blaming the refs and this and that is not the reason you guys lose and this and all that. And look, I'm not saying that the Chicago Sky don't have their own fault for playing bad. I'm completely aware of that. Like I say, I watch every game of the Chicago Sky. I know that they're not the best team. I mean, we're the 8th seed for a reason. I'm completely aware of that. I'm not saying that we would have beat all these teams that we went against this month had the free throws discrepancy been, evened up. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not a delusional person. But I do think it is important to point out the differences and, some of the score differentials in the games we've been losing and the games, we've been winning. Anybody that knows the Chicago Sky, they know we are not, the best team when it comes to three-point shooting at all. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure we're the worst three-point shooting team in the league. But what I do know for sure is that when it comes to points in the paint, the Chicago Sky are the best. They lead the league in 42.5 points per game coming from the paint, which is more than half of our points that we get. Total points per game the Sky get are 78.7. We're number one. We're the most physical team when it comes to offense, going, to the hole. And that's why teams stack the paint against us, because they know our style of play is getting on the inside, getting it to our bigs, so either slashing with Dana Evans or Kennedy Carter, getting to the line and getting all our points there. That's how we win games. We out physical teams and we get in the paint, we rebound, and we, put up layups. That's how we win, right? And in May and June, it seemed, pretty apparent. Our free throw attempts in the month of May, we averaged about 19.7. And in the month of June, we've averaged 20.3. In the month of May, for our opposition, we averaged about, our opponents averaged 20.2 free throw attempts per game. In the month of June, they averaged 20. And we were ranked 4th in the league at the time in free throw attempts. So it was pretty even, as far as, 19, 20 attempts per game for us and our opponents. Well, in the July, things have gotten, let's just say, a lot different. There's been a shift. In July, Chicago Sky ranks last in free throw attempts at 12.5. While in the month of July, our opponents are still sitting at a pretty consistent 19.3 free throw attempts per game. Now, let's just take a look at, our last few July games, starting with, the last Liberty game, which to me was the biggest standout, because I was like, this is incredible. How a team that averages 42.5 points per game in the paint, number 1 in the league, only went to the free throw line, only had 4 free throw attempts 4 times. I'm pretty sure a couple of those were and ones, so I think we only went to the line 3 times that game. While the Liberty, who didn't go to the line that much, they went only 14 times themselves, and we ended up losing that game 81-67. The previous game, Chicago Sky went to the line 7 times, 7 free throw attempts. Liberty had 20. Before that, ATL against Atlanta. Sky had 13. Atlanta had 16. We ended up winning that game 78-69. Against Seattle, the second time, we had 12 attempts. They had 24. We ended up losing that game 71-84. In the previous game before that, though, when we had 21 and the Storm had 26, we ended up winning that game 88-84. And before that, against, Atlanta Dream, we actually attempted them with 18 attempts to Atlanta 16, and we ended up winning that game 85-77. And I don't believe I mentioned the Liberty game score. We ended up losing 81-67 to the Liberty the second time out, and 76-91, with them doing more than double our attempts both times by far. So, I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. July, the Sky haven't really been getting the calls that I think it's clear that, our attempts should be much higher. Just judging off our style of play, Kennedy Carter, who's our main scorer on the team these past couple weeks, she gets, pretty much clobbered going to the hole. I mean, that's her whole game is, going up over big physical defenders and, making tough shots through the lane. Angel Reese, one of our top scorers as well. She fights down there. As you all know, she leads the league in rebounds, and a lot of, her points come from getting, dumped off to the inside and going up against bigs, fighting through double teams. Camila Cardoso, our center, that's her whole game is inside. So just to see that with 3 of our main, points of attack, the fact that the Chicago Sky this month is only averaging 12.5 free throw attempts per game, going down from 20, it's a little weird. And, I'm not saying, there's some sort of weird collusion or conspiracy like that. I'm not going that deep into it. I'd have to see how the second half of the season goes for me to get into all that. But it's just something that, the coaches definitely got to bring to the attention of the refs. Like, look, we haven't been getting these calls, You know how we play. You know what type of team we are. We need you to look out for that stuff. Because, at the end of the day, no matter how you slice it, whether you want to admit it or not, it's possibly costing the Sky some games, or at least, you know, making these margins a little closer. You know, we have a solid free throw shooting team. And, you know, with the players that go to the line, Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese, for the most part, you know, who get hit the most due to them being the main, you know, focuses of offense at times. We just need to get more attempts. I mean, 4 free throw attempts in the game is abysmal. 7 free throw attempts to 20 is crazy. You know, 13, 16 I can live with. 12 to 24 though, that's insane. 21-26, you see they kept it close against a top 4 team in the league. We end up winning the game by 4 points. And then the game that we don't, you know, we lose by 13, and that's, you know, the 12 free throw attempts that we didn't get compared to the other team. So, I mean, I think it's clear as day that these last few games that the refs and the calls have not been nice to the Sky, and that's been a big reason for some of these blowouts. Now, again, I'm not saying that's the only reason. The Sky, you know, as we know, we're Brick City. We miss a lot of shots. We're terrible from the 3. You know, last game, there were plenty, you know, Kennedy Carter played her worst game of the season. Angel Reese, you know, had a very bad shooting night. So, like I said, I'm not oblivious to the Sky's flaws themselves. We know that we have to do a much better job of executing, hitting open shots, hitting easy layups, and, you know, taking what the defense gives us. But it doesn't change the fact that the discrepancy in free throws is a big blow and is not helping our scoring whatsoever. But yeah, guys, that's kind of all I have for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about, you know, the discrepancy or the free throws. Let me know what you guys think about the game tonight between the Aces and the Sky. Do you think the Sky has a chance to win going into the All-Star break? Or do you think the Aces just, you know, do what they do and just, you know, keep clobbering us just like they've done most teams during this last few stretch of July? I mean, they look like they're clicking on all cylinders. I know that the Liberty and the Sun hold the first and second spot, but I'm just being honest myself. I think the Aces are still the best team in the league, especially with the return of Chelsea Gray. They just look the scariest out of everybody. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's all I got for the game tonight. And yeah, you guys have a great day. Peace.